Hi everybody, this is Karen Lee, and I'm here today with Crochet, Coffee, and Chats. I'm glad to see you all. Hi Linda, I saw that you had popped into the chat while I ran and grabbed some more coffee. Having one of those mornings where I could use an extra cup really quick. I apologize to all of you that I didn't make it online last week. It was kind of a it was a really hard week for me. So I got some closure with my aunt's funeral, and I was able to just kind of do some stuff in the background and just kind of be able to kind of miss her and mourn her. So, but I'm back, and things are going better this week. So I'm back on the normal track, and I hope you guys are having a great week. So those of you who are here, I see there's a few of you that are starting to pop in. Make sure you come into chat and introduce yourself if you've never been here before. And if you are, just come, or if you have, just come in and say hi. I'd love to chat with you. Let's see. Hi, Dawn. How are you? It's good to see you here. My hair is sticking up today. I'm having, I don't know if you can see that. I'm having a lot of static today. It's still really warm here in the central, lower central Washington. We're supposed to get rain, I'm hoping, on Saturday. There was a 40% chance earlier this week. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm hoping. They say that once winter hits, it hits hard. So it'll be interesting. Our first fall and winter here in central Washington. So there you go. Linda says, I jumped on Queen of Hearts like a chicken on a June bug. I'm so glad. I'm glad you were excited to get it. I'm going to be talking about that in a little bit. For those of you who are not on my newsletter, I did just release a new pattern called Queen of Hearts. I always release it first to my subscribers, and they get a huge discount. And then today in my blog, you should start seeing social media posts talking about Queen of Hearts. And so I have it here with me. I'll answer any questions about it that you might have. So, but we're going to talk about the mystery crochet along. Everybody should have all their clues, and you have until Sunday. I moved the date to Sunday because I'm going to draw the winners, and there's 6 winners on Monday morning. So I'm going to be doing a live Zoom Monday morning. You're going to catch me. I believe I booked it on my schedule. Look, my calendar here. I think I did put it down for, I'm going to do it again at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. I was thinking about doing it at 10. I can't remember what I decided. So 9 a.m. here on Monday, I will be doing a bonus live where I'm going to draw the names of those who finished their crochet along. And you still have time. All you need to do is finish your shawl and take a picture of it. And post it in the thread that says post your finished shawl. I need to see the pictures in that folder or in that thread so that I can write everybody's name down and put them in a basket. And next Monday, I will draw those names. So hopefully if you finished it, you've already done that. I want to show you mine. Mine is done. I finished it. It needs to be blocked, guys, so ignore all the rippling and stuff. But here's clue 1, and then the purple is clue 2, and the pink is clue 3, and I went back to blue on clue 4. That edging is rippling, and I need to block it. I'm probably going to do that today. But I'm really excited with how it turned out. It's definitely going to be a shawl I wear. With the fingering weight, it got a lot bigger, and I'm really excited because this is something I can wear while I'm talking to you guys and I'm cold. I tend to get really cold when I'm working in my office, so having a shawl that will stay on me is kind of a big deal for me. So I'm really excited. Thank you, Gina. For those of you who are new to the to my mystery crochet along. I'm losing my voice this morning. Hang on a sec. Okay, I think I'm okay. Coffee. I use the original pattern calls for lace weight yarn. And actually, I'm going to be picking up my sample in the lace weight yarn. I think tomorrow it's supposed to hit my my PO box. So I'm going to pick it up from the post office tomorrow. But I did the actual crochet along in fingering weight, and this fingering weight is now I'm like totally blanking. Oh, Araucana Huasco sock. These are their hand paints, and I believe these are no longer available, but the Huasco sock is still around. And Gina, correct me if I'm wrong. But this is, I just love these colors and how the tonality in all of them. You get a little bit of white in there that lightens up the colors. It's just beautiful. And I'm not normally someone who doesn't do a gradient that does a full color block like this. And I really love it. So I have a feeling I'm going to be doing more stuff with color blocking. So it does look like velvet in the video. Actually, that purple, even in person, it does look like velvet. I mean, every once in a while, I keep thinking it's like a chenille or something, and it's not. It's just the way the color is. It's gorgeous. It's just a gorgeous yarn. So there's mine. Have any of you who are here finished your shawls? Or were you participating? Oh, I should mention too, the photos actually came back from the photographer last week, and I sent the pattern to layout, and I should have it, I would say, within the next couple weeks. So those of you who purchase the registration for the Mystery Crochet Along, as soon as I get that, I'll be sending you an email with a download link to get the final pattern with the final photos and everything all put together in one beautiful little pattern. So be watching for that. I don't know exactly when it's going to happen. I usually give my graphic artist about a month's leeway for laying out, because she has a life, and she works with other clients. So I don't want to disrupt her life too much, but usually she's really quick. So I'm hoping in a couple weeks I'll have it. So there you go. Let's see. Exactly. I love it. You have 2.5 rows to finish. Yay. Yay, Linda. Okay, cool. So we'll be waiting to see your picture in the forum with your finished shawl. There's a couple people out there, which really surprised me, who actually did 2 shawls. They worked them simultaneously as the clues came out, which I find amazing, because by the time I got done with clue 2, clue 3 took me forever because of how long those angles are, and they just kept getting longer. So for those people who actually did 2 shawls, they are going to get 2 entries into the drawing, because I just think that's only fair. They went above and beyond. So I told my boss I won't be in tomorrow. Didn't tell him I have more important things to take care of. Too funny. You're very lucky that you have a boss who's very understanding with that kind of stuff, especially when it's crochet related. Obviously, you didn't tell him what, but I think that's pretty cool. So, trying to think. There was a couple other things I want to talk to you guys about. Oh, let's talk about Queen of Hearts. This is Queen of Hearts. I just released it yesterday to my newsletter, and the rest of the world hears about it today. I love this shawl. This is another one I think I'm going to be using in my office a lot. I'll probably wear it out once I'm able to go out too, but Queen of Hearts starts with like a chessboard in gray, and it eventually explodes into a filet crochet section of hearts at the bottom in red. it's a huge shawl. I don't know. I don't think the video even does it justice. It's huge. And what I love about it is the way I made it into 4 panels. So a lot of people don't like triangular shawls because it comes to a point in the back. It does not always flattering on people. This one still has a point at the bottom, but it's kind of softened by these extra points that I have on either side. And it creates a huge shawl. So this is another one of those that as it gets longer, though it's going to take a lot longer to do your rows, but it makes it a wider shawl. It makes it a longer shawl, and it makes it fit and flatter just about everybody out there. I think it's my favorite shawl that I've designed over the years that I have been a designer. It's just been, it was fun to do. I mean, there was a lot of math involved to get those hearts right. And that's what took me so long to get this shawl done, was making sure the math was right. And then I had my pattern testers help me revise the pattern so that it read right, it worked right, it still looked right. And even my tech editor made a comment to me that my testers caught a few things that she would have thought about. And now when she tests my patterns, or when she tech edits my patterns, she's looking for a few more things that you guys who are out there thought about. So thank you for those of you who tested. I know Dawn tested and Gina tested for me. So I appreciate that. So I'm hoping there's no issues with the pattern. I haven't heard anything yet, but it's only been out for a day. So there you go with all of that. For those of you who are subscribed to my newsletter, you will have a coupon to get $3.50 off the pattern. Because of all the charts that are involved in that pattern, the pattern is actually a 12-page pattern. And the way I price my patterns is based on how much it would cost me to actually print them. And I use a company called MCAL to print all my patterns. My wholesale shops, a lot of them order print patterns. So I don't think it's fair to the designer. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but for me, I don't feel it's fair that patterns that are digital cost less than a printed pattern. So I price my patterns the same across the board, whether they're print or digital, because regardless of whether or not the paper's involved, there's still all my hard work and the hours I put into this shawl, not just only designing it, but working with my tech editor, working with all my testers, even working with a photographer to tell her how I wanted it photographed, all that kind of thing. There's a lot of hours involved, and I really, and it depends, not even across the board, all of my patterns take a lot of time. So someday I'm going to do a blog post, I think, on what it takes to design a pattern from start to finish. I mean, I might do a series, start a project. I don't know, maybe it'll be a shawl or something. And then just walk you through the time, the hours, the costs involved, because I pay my photographer, I pay my layout, I pay my tech editors. My testers get free patterns. That's a cost to me. They also get my time when I'm working with them. So this pattern here is 12 pages. So in order for me to even make a profit on that, I have to charge $9.50. So it's a $9.50 for the pattern. But my subscribers always get a discount for the first week that it's released. So you guys are getting it for $6 rather than $9.50. But if you're not a subscriber to my newsletter, you might want to, because you'll be the ones that get the big discount. But the non-subscribers, if you go to my blog at KarenHooley.com/blog, you can get the coupon to get $2 off the powder. So you'll get it for $7.50 rather than the $9.50. So being a newsletter subscriber, you get to save an extra $1.50 off the powder in this case. So if you haven't seen the newsletter and you're a subscriber, make sure you go and find it. For the testers, I realized this morning that I never sent you a copy of the pattern. So I will get those out this morning to you. So be watching for those. Last week and the week before kind of threw me for a loop. So I'm like totally discombobulated with a lot of things. So if I promise things to some of you guys, let me know because I usually write things down, but the last couple of weeks, things just kind of went in and out and I tried to write down what I could. So anyway, so that's about Queen of Hearts. Anybody got any questions for me today? There's a few things I'm working on. Oh, third thing, before I go to that. My class that's going to be on October 17th, and I know, Linda, you can't go because you're working, and I plan to offer it again. But this is my reversible shell class that I'm doing on October 17th on Zoom. It is going to be a 90-minute class learning how to use this technique, and we'll start on the scarf, and I'll show you how to end the scarf in class. But I want to let you know that it is definitely a go. I had a minimum of 4 people to sign up. I currently have 5, so we are definitely a go with that class. And so if you were kind of hanging back on registering for the class, you don't have to worry. It is definitely going to be a go. So you can sign up. It's $35 for the 90-minute class. If you go to my website, KarenHooley.com, and you go to education, I believe it's education on there. Might be online classes, something like that. You'll see there's a place to register. I haven't put it on the front page yet. I need to do that. That's another thing that's kind of fallen through the cracks. But it will be up later today so that you can easily just click on a picture and go to register for the class. But I'm really excited because after teaching my sock class, which Gina was a part of, I realized that I really enjoy being able to do a live class like this. I mean, I had 4 events that were canceled that were going to be live classes this year. And it kind of bumped me out because not so much at although the financial part of it is part of it, but I really thrive when I'm around my crocheters, whether I'm teaching them, whether we're just hanging out in the lobby of a hotel and just crocheting and chatting, whether it's just, being with them, people watching a fashion show and seeing what people have made or watching. I love to people watch, especially at a crochet event, because the shawls that come by and the sweaters and the cowls and the hats, they just inspire me so much. So it's not the same as being at a live event, but being able to talk one-on-one with my students through Zoom, that was really, I don't know how to explain it, but it really made me a little more inspired. And so I decided that I'm gonna start teaching more Zoom classes. I'm still gonna do some standalone classes. I just actually ordered a thing to connect my iPhone to my screen so that when I'm recording video, I can actually see my hands on my big screen instead of sitting there fighting with the camera and making sure my hands are on screen. And then for those of you who took the sock class, if you take this class, you're gonna see I have a new setup so that I'm always facing the camera. If Gina saw me, I would face the camera here, but then when I switch to my hands, I'd have to turn over here. But now I've got something that I can actually put in front of me and have a good background with my camera here. So I'm always looking at the screen rather than at my hands and not seeing what you guys are saying. So I'm very excited. It's supposed to be here on Friday or Saturday. So I'll be using that as well. So you really enjoyed being able to connect. Yes. Yes, and that's the other thing too, is that I had people on the East Coast, I had people in the Central Time Zone, and I had people here on the West Coast in that class. And it was so nice. Oh, good grief, guys. I'm so sorry. There we go. Yes, it's just being able to connect with all of you, no matter where you are in the country, is actually kind of cool. I never really thought about doing live classes until this whole pandemic started. And now I'm starting to see, no matter what happens in the future going forward, I will always have this option of being able to teach classes online, whether or not I'm able to attend an event or not. So I'll have some sort of live contact with my peeps. I miss my peeps. So there you go. So if you're interested in taking that class, I'd really love to see you there. I have it maxed out at 25 people because I think that no matter what I do online, I don't think I could do like a 100-person class. I know a lot of people just let the registration keep going, and I just can't do that because I want to be able to give you as much attention as I can individually as you have questions. And that's just, I mean, 25 is going to be pushing it. I'm kind of like seeing if we get 25 in that class to kind of see how that all will work for me. I may in the future do a smaller number, but for now, that's what I'm going to do. Just try it out. So I know there's been a few people who told me that they want to take the class, but they were hanging back to see if more people signed up. So I'm letting you guys know, and I will be letting people know in my newsletter that comes out on Friday. My actual regular newsletter will be coming out on Friday, and it'll have the details that the class is a go. So hopefully I'll see a few more of you there. And then that is actually probably going to be my last live class for the year, only unless something comes up. But I usually take November and December off from doing events, and I'll still do my live streams, and I'll still be doing my newsletter and stuff like that. But you're going to see me kind of more hunkering down because this is my really big planning period. I usually start in September, and I start sorting through things and things like that. But November and December, I set aside for my family for the holidays. And then that's my first priority. And then my second priority is planning. And this year, not only do I have those two, but I'm also planning a wedding, and we're getting ready to move into a new house in January, February timeframe. So my time to plan is going to be a little bit reduced, but that's okay. But I'll still be here. I'll still plan to do these lives. I really enjoy being on these lives too. It gives me a chance to chat with people. And you can probably tell, and most people think I'm crazy when I say I am an introvert. And if you meet me live, it takes me a while to get talking, especially like on a one-on-one kind of thing. I've always been an introvert. My mom would tell you that I used to cling to her skirts and hide my face and all that stuff. And that still is a part of me. But being on YouTube Live has kind of helped me. I mean, teaching classes has helped me get out of that, but being in YouTube Live, it forces me now, especially since I can't teach live, to keep in contact and keep my, being able to chat and that kind of stuff. So it's good for me emotionally and physically, and hopefully you guys are enjoying my little chats every week. So there you have it. Anybody else? Anybody want to talk about something today? Ask me any questions. I pretty much covered. I mean, the last week has been a little less busy because of all that's been going on in my personal life, but I'm starting to ramp up again a little bit with what's going on behind the scenes. I have a couple patterns besides there's 2 more patterns that'll be released this year. I think one of them I can release this year. May not be till the first of the year, but there's at least one more coming. And then I'm excited too, because this is another reason why you might want to subscribe to my newsletter if you're not already subscribed, is that every January 1st, I release a new free pattern. That is the free pattern for my newsletter all year. And so currently, I'm losing my voice again. If you're a member of my newsletter back in January, or whenever you did subscribe to my newsletter, you should have gotten Limitless, which was a shawl, 2-color shawl, very simple in design, with a kind of a holey bottom at the end, and then it has a tassel in the middle at the bottom. That was kind of a last minute thing, but it looked so cute I had to leave it. So that on January 1st is going to go paid. So if you want that pattern, it goes paid. And then there's a brand new pattern coming January 1st that my newsletter subscribers will all get. My first newsletter that goes out in the first of the year, that pattern will go out to every one of you. And then anybody who subscribes to my newsletter will get it for free when they first join the newsletter. So that's what's coming up. So you'll still see me doing some stuff in the background, and I'm going to be recording some classes because I really want to get that sock class up on my site, because there's so many people who want to take that class as a self-paced class. So I'm going to be recording all of that. I'm rewriting a lot of the instructions, the handout, and everybody who took the class will get it for free. Who just took the class that just ended will get it for free. So so that's what I'll be doing in November, December. So and I just actually, it's kind of funny, on Monday I went through my Instagram account, and I decided that my Instagram account is going to be all crochet. I'm going to do very little personal stuff on there at all. You might get a cat photo once in a while when I'm working and she likes to sit at my feet when I'm crocheting, or you might get, a special announcement, like something, like when my daughter got engaged. That was like a huge thing. I told everybody. But other than that, it's going to be crochet related. I'm going to be, I have a sweater that I want to design, that I want to have come out either in the spring or summer next year. And I'm going to start swatching that next week. I think I've already figured out which yarn, Gina, that you guys sent me is going to be that sweater. It was originally going to be the one that was like a boucle, but I think that Marisol, I can't read the tag on it right now, but the Marisol that you guys sent me, I think the more I think about that sweater and how I want it to look, that actually even the color might be right. So next week I'm planning to wind that up and swatch it and see if it is exactly what I want. So I'm planning to do stuff like that on my Instagram and on my Facebook page. So what I did was I cleaned up my Instagram. I took all the personal stuff. Everybody I followed personally off, for personal, and created my own personal account. And later this week, I will be posting on my Instagram account. If you'd like to follow my personal account, I'm not going to make it private because unless there's some issues, I don't post, things that I'm worried about people harming my family or my friends or anything like that. So I will post the information about, if you want to follow my personal life as well as my business life, where you can follow me. But that's another thing that I did. Linda says, years ago when I would have to get up in front of class, I was afraid the other kids would laugh at me. Mom told me the mannequin in their underwear worked like a charm. It's funny because in college, in order to graduate, I had to take a public speaking class. I was a business major, and that was one of the requirements for my degree, was to take a public speaking class. And the way my university taught the class, it was either a semester-long class, or we had this thing where we had semester and semester, and then in between the fall and then spring, and in between fall and spring, we had a 6-week session called Intersession. I don't know what they call it now there. I went to California State University at Chico. So if any of you know that college, it might be called something different now. But it was 6 weeks. And I waited until the intercession of my last year to take that class. I just kept putting it off and putting it off. And my mom kept saying, Karen, you got to take this class. You got to get it over with. And I figured, you know what? I can do it in 6 weeks. I will, I just couldn't imagine taking a speech class as a semester long class. So I went back early, 6 weeks to school early that year and took this class. And that was the first thing my instructor said, is that if you really start shaking up there, think of everybody in their underwear. And I actually started laughing my first speech. I had to do 5 speeches. The first week we didn't do a speech, but every week after that we had to do a speech. And my second week class, the teacher again reminded us, just think about that. And oh my gosh, I almost started laughing doing my first speech. But it was amazing how after you do that first speech, how it actually helped me do the rest of them. And actually one of the speeches I did was supposed to be teaching somebody to do something. And I often credit that class that I became a crochet instructor because I taught people how to make a chain in that class. It was something that I had to do in 5 minutes. And it actually was the second A that I got in that class. I think I got 3 A's and 2 B's on my speeches. So actually did better than I thought. But yeah, the underwear thing, it really works. And even when I was working full time, I worked for a computer company in California. They're now no longer. They were sold right after I left. But I used to write. I worked for a company called Triad Systems Corporation. If you work in the dental field, you might recognize that name, or if you worked in hardware stores or auto parts stores. We did. I never thought about it of imagining guys in bras. That would have been funny. I was just picturing people in their own underwear. But the company I worked for, I started out in customer service, talking to people on phones for the dental offices that we wrote software. But I also wrote software, and I actually wrote our engineering manuals for the field people who had to go into the dental offices and fix the hardware. And I wrote like a 350-page manual. It was like this thick when we printed it, of all of our systems and stuff like that. Well, after that was written, I was invited to do a talk at one of our field events. And that's what I had to do. All these guys who I've talked to on the phone for forever, I had to imagine them all in their underwear to keep myself from just melting down in front of everybody. So, yeah, that helps a lot. Oh man. Okay. So we've still got about a little less than half an hour to go. But if you guys have anything to talk about, want to ask me, I'm here. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and sign off because I'm losing my voice. It's just, I can feel it. I think it's the weather starting to cool off again. And I know when I travel, usually the first couple weeks after I'm home from being in an airplane with the recycled air and stuff, I always get a little dry. So, anybody have anything they want to talk about? Otherwise, I'll go ahead and sign off for the day, and I'll see you on Monday. Don't forget, I'm going to be doing the live drawings. So, okay, well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and sign off then. You guys have a great rest of your week. I'll see you Monday. Yes, Gina, I will see you then. Thanks, Linda. Me too. I think I'm going to go grab a couple of cough drops just so that I can kind of soothe whatever's going on in there. Bye, Brenda. Oh, I didn't even know you were here, Brenda. Did you even post? I didn't see you in there. Anyway, I'll go ahead and go, and you guys have a great week, and I will see you Monday. Talk to you soon.